You know that little voice in your head, the one that's always talking, always narrating your life? Well, a huge part of its story is about money. It's whispering to you when you look at an investment. It's yelling when you get an unexpected bill. And it's definitely arguing with you when you even think about asking for a raise.
But here's a wild thought. What if that voice, the one you trust most, the one you think of as you, is actually a terrible financial advisor? What if I told you that on a daily basis, your own brain is actively, consistently, and very, very convincingly lying to you about money? And look, this isn't some pop psychology metaphor. We're talking about a biological fact, something rooted deep in the wiring of our minds. See, your brain isn't designed for a world of stock markets, crypto, or global business. Not at all.
To really get this, we've got to look at your brain's default operating system. Let's call it survival mode. This software, it's been perfected over 200,000 years with one single job: keep you alive. The problem? It's optimized for surviving, not for thriving.
This survival brain, it sees the world in a very specific way. It's constantly scanning for threats, it's trying to conserve every ounce of energy, and it avoids risk at all costs. To this ancient part of your mind, doing something new, like building wealth, well, that feels like walking into a dark cave full of predators. It would much rather stick with the familiar struggle because at least there, it knows the rules.
And this slide right here perfectly illustrates that core conflict. You've got the survival brain on the left, just focused on today, dodging risk, clinging to what it knows, and on the right, you have the thriving mind, building for tomorrow, managing risk, even embracing a little uncertainty. These two, they're in a constant battle for control inside your head. So to keep you safe, your brain has become an expert liar. It generates this constant stream of logical-sounding excuses and doubts. So let's do it. Let's expose them, starting with the two biggest, most common lies, the ones rooted in scarcity and fear.
This one. This is the heavyweight champion of destructive lies. I can't afford it. You see a course, an investment, an opportunity, and your brain just slams the door shut with those 4 words. It feels like a fact, doesn't it? But it's really a lie designed to conserve energy. What you're really saying is, this isn't a priority for me right now.
So how do you fight back? It's simple, but it's powerful. The moment you hear, "I can't afford it," you have to intercept it with a question. How can I afford it? See, "I can't" is a dead end, but "how can I?" Well, that's a mission. It literally turns your brain from a guard dog into a creative problem-solving partner. This one shift is a total game changer. All right, here's the next big one. You think about starting that business, or maybe investing some money, and bam, your brain's internal threat detection system goes into absolute overdrive. It floods you with this parade of worst-case scenarios. What if you fail? What if you lose it all? The feeling is overwhelming, so you retreat back to safety.
The interception here is a 2-step process. First, you've got to get specific. Ask yourself, what is the real measurable downside here? Not the vague, scary feeling, but the actual number. If you invest $500, the worst possible case is you lose $500. Then, and this is crucial, you flip it. You ask, what is the risk of not doing this? What's the cost of staying exactly where I am for the next 5 years? And this visual, this says it all. That perceived risk of taking action feels huge in the short term. But when you actually calculate the true cost of stagnation, the lost opportunities, the nagging regret, you start to realize that the risk of doing nothing is monumentally greater over time.
Okay, the next set of lies are a little more subtle. They're sneaky. They focus on self-doubt and this illusion of the perfect time, and they're designed to keep you from ever even starting the race.
This is the classic lie of imposter syndrome. Your brain, trying to protect you from the risk of being judged or failing, just convinces you that you're fundamentally unqualified. You look at a job description or think about sharing your knowledge, and you just freeze, focused only on what you lack. I love this quote. Perfectionism is just fear in a fancy suit. It's so true, right? The truth is, you don't need to be the world's leading expert. You just need to be one step ahead of the person you're trying to help. The interception here is to focus on what you do know and give yourself permission to learn the rest as you go.
Oh man, this one is clever because it sounds so responsible. I'll start investing when the market calms down. I'll launch my business after this big project is over. It sounds like wisdom, but it's just procrastination in a very convincing disguise. Your brain is waiting for this mythical moment of perfect certainty that is never, ever going to arrive.
So the way you break this spell is by forcing action, right here in the present. Intercept the thought and ask yourself, okay, what is the absolute smallest possible step I can take in the next 15 minutes?
Not someday, not tomorrow, right now. This tiny little demand for a micro-action just shatters the illusion and proves that the only right time to start is now.
And now for the final lie. This one is deep, it's often subconscious, and it might just be the most powerful of all. It's the lie your brain tells you about the morality of money itself, all to protect your own ego.
Think about it. If you believe, even just a little, that being wealthy is somehow morally wrong, then your brain has the perfect excuse for why you're not rich. It's not your fault you're struggling, it's because you're a good, moral person. This story allows you to feel superior while staying financially stuck.
But here's the crucial point. Money isn't good or evil. It's a neutral tool. It's an amplifier. It just makes you more of what you already are. So the interception is to consciously start associating wealth with positive outcomes. Tell yourself, with more money, I can solve bigger problems. With more money, I can take better care of the people I love.
So where does this leave us? The goal isn't to fight your brain or to try and silence it. That's a losing battle. The goal is to shift your relationship with it, to go from being its prisoner to becoming its leader, to transform it from a misguided bodyguard into a trusted partner.
This is the idea I really want you to walk away with. Your brain isn't your enemy. It's like a deeply loyal bodyguard, but one that's a little misguided. It has your best interests at heart, it's just running on really old software. It thinks it's protecting you by keeping you small and safe. Your job is to retrain it, to lead it, to show it that growth and risk aren't threats to be avoided, but are actually paths to a better future.
Ultimately, this is the real work. It's not about finding the next hot stock or the perfect business idea. It's about winning the war between your ears. Because when you finally learn to intercept these lies, you unlock the clarity and the courage to build the life you actually want. For hundreds of thousands of years, your brain's story has been written by the demands of survival. It's a story of caution, of fear, of scarcity. But you have the power to change that. So the only question left is, who is going to write the next chapter?